Nobody said life's going to be easy. The truth of the matter is life's very difficult. Life becomes very easy once you build the skill sets on how to deal with the difficult situations in a comfortable setting. And the only way you get to a comfortable setting is you deal with so much uncomfortable situations in your life that's just another sense. That's another muscle.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in the big leagues. Told him that I gotta go, dog. I'm riding the road, y'all. I think that I'm back in my bag now. So I need that go, y'all. Got hits when he throwing the fastball. Just too quick for it, peeling off like the whip orange.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Do Good Movement. Our purpose here is to make a positive impact in our society through real-life education. The movement comes into play when you share the content to help other people do good just like you. I want to take you on a little bit of a journey today. And before I get started talking about this journey, just wanted to say thank you guys for sharing the movement and helping people out around you. I know it's my words, but with you guys sharing the content, that means you stand behind it, you believe it, and it's also your message as well. So thank you for taking the time to look out for your friends and your loved ones and send it out. And that's really all we're looking to do here, big or small. Just we want to help out and give back to society, and that's my job. And I'm thankful to come on here and work with you guys. The second thing I want to talk about is when I get into this topic, please understand I'm not directly talking to you. This message is not to anybody in particular. This message is to make you better. And that's my true intent here. And my goal is you walk away from what I'm going to talk about today and you go take action in your life and you go do something different today. You go do something different tomorrow, and it changes you. And when you're able to change yourself, it inspires other people to change because they see that transformation in you. And what I'm going to talk about is through personal experience. It's something I'm very big on, not from an ego type of thing, not from a look type of thing, but from a feel type of thing and an accomplishment type of thing. And the topic is something that you guys all have control over. And I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about you and us as people. And the one thing I want to talk about is the thing that we all have control over. You know, there's a lot of things in life we don't have control over, even though we like to think we do. We think we like that we have control over, you know, our car, that it's driving straight and we're going to get home safe. We like to think that we have control over our kids. We like to think we have control over our career. We like to think we have control over our business. But there's so many variables around everything in life that will quickly take control out of our hands and put it in somebody else's hands. And the one thing I want you to think of is, what do you have control over? What do you have control over? What do you have a say in? What can you actually do without another party getting involved or another variable coming in? And it's something that's super important to me, and I'm very excited to talk to you guys about because it's changed my life. When you guys look at the success of my life, one of the biggest roots comes from this factor and this topic I'm going to tell you right now, and that's health and fitness. So getting into the journey I'm going to walk you on, and please stay tuned because this is going to get really good. It's going to be eye-opening. When I talk about health and fitness, I'm not talking about, you know, being the most sexy person out there, being ripped, having the six-pack, all those things. When I talk about health and fitness, I talk about, on the fitness side, just making yourself better than where you are today and changing those behaviors. And the health side, the importance of health and how that makes you feel, how that makes you think, how that makes you perform, how that comes into every decision that you make, every conversation you have, and different things like that. We are like the human is it's a machine, right? Just as other machines. Now, there's a lot of amazing things about the human body, but the more you work on the human body, the better it's going to get, the stronger it's going to get, the more efficient it's going to get, the smarter it's going to get. And just like a machine, it takes energy. You know, like let's say if we're talking about a motor here, it takes fuel to run. It takes maintenance to keep going. Our body takes food, right? The better food you put in it, the better output it's gonna produce. Believe it or not, it's true. It's facts. The more pressure you put on your body and physical exercise and the hardship you give yourself through that, the stronger your body gets, the more callous it becomes, the harder you're able to push it over time. And I'm going to really tie this thing in a bow here. And so the one thing you can control is yourself. And I believe everybody listening right now could say, yeah, I get that, Dylan. I could control what I put in my mouth. I understand I could control, physical exercise and those different things, but it's not for me. Well, if you can understand that, understand this. Everybody else could see it and understand it as well. So I'm going to talk about some things in here, and they're not going to be the most popular, but it's true. And to make change and understand things, one is you have to be true with yourself, and you have to understand and accept transparent feedback. And when I go through this show and this podcast with you, if you're giving yourself reasons why not and giving yourself excuses, I'll just probably stop listening right now, because it's not going to serve you in any way. You're just going to argue with the content being said. But if you could open your ears and listen and say, well, if there was an excuse, if I can do this, I want you to visualize what your life would look like, how you'd feel, and what would be changed around you. We are our best asset. We are a walking resume of ourselves. And people could read the resume by just looking at you. They know what you have in it. They know your discipline levels. They know your how much you study, how much you research, how much you're important to yourself, just by a visual appearance. As fucked up as that sounds, it's true. Okay? And so when you're out seeking a relationship, when you're out seeking a new career, when you're out seeking or pitching a business deal, and you're saying that you work very hard, that you have discipline, that you'll do whatever it takes, and somebody's able to look at you and your actions, your resume, what your self-physical look is different than what you're saying on how you're going to do something else, how's that person going to believe you? Because with you being the biggest asset, you control everything from there forward, and you're not taking care of yourself. You haven't put in the hard work yourself. You haven't made those changes in yourself. How can somebody believe that you're going to do something different for them? It's pretty real, right? And I don't mean this out of being a dickhead by any means. I mean this out of love, and I might be one of the first people that are telling you this and making you looking at it from that side. But the whole point of this podcast is not to tell you to look a certain way or be a certain way for others. The point of this podcast is telling you on how health and fitness can change your life and how it can make you feel. And when we feel good, we're able to do some really cool shit. But just uncovering and saying how it is, if we don't look good, guys, we don't feel good, and we carry a bunch of a lack of confidence, right? People could smell it, people could feel it. We carry insecurities. But when you feel good, when you look good, you come off as a superhero that you could accomplish and do whatever the fuck you want to go do. And I'm going to tell you something as I get into this story. My life in business, my life in my relationships, my life in general has changed when I took all of that's changed when I've taken my life serious. When I looked in the mirror, I used to say before I looked in the mirror, I used to say, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this, I could do that. And I would always get to a time and a place when it would get hard, when it would get difficult, and I would stop, and I would just look for an easier road. And the easier road never pays well. And then back in, it was like 2018, I was with my brother, and I've talked about this in other podcasts. I've just looked in the mirror and I just said, hey, man, like, if I'm the best representation of myself just by my appearance level, and I'm here in life, if I took things more serious, if I built those behaviors, if I went through that change with myself, what would all the things around me look like? So I'm going to give you a couple comparisons here. So the 2018, I don't know, maybe a $30 million business. We're doing okay. 2022, $130-something million business, doing pretty good. And there's a lot that has happened in that time. It wasn't luck. It wasn't, somehow things just shifted and changed. I had to learn how to deal with like adversity and hardships and changing behaviors. And I wasn't suited. I didn't know enough to go ahead and do that, to go into my company and say, we're going to make this change. You guys can get through it. I'm going to be your leader. Let me show you how to go do this. I just didn't have that experience. I didn't show it. So I needed to find something to focus on, to say, like, I need to learn how to persevere, how to build grit, how to build discipline, how to change behaviors, how to keep going when it's hard, how to keep going when I don't know what the road's going to look like, how to keep going when I'm in pain. Because the best roads in life, the best times are really on the other side of adversity, the other side of pain. And so in 2018, my brother and I made a commitment to each other, and we said, why don't we become real? Why don't we become real? You know, we talk a game, we run a team, but in our own life, we're skipping out on gym days. We're saying we're too tired. We don't feel good. But then we come into business and we expect our teams to always be there. Do something hard, do something different, always change. How do we lead people to go do something bigger and better than where they are today if we can't do that for ourselves? And it was a rough thought to have in our head, but it was true, because we'd make these promises to ourselves on, well, I don't feel good. I don't like the way I look. My energy is just a little bit weird. I'm just not liking this. And okay, well, yeah, let's go. We need to change it, right? So let's go work out more. Let's eat better. And then we've all been here. We have this mission in our mind, right? Just think of your New Year's resolution. Where are you at with that right now, right? You have this idea in your head. You have this dream. It's so important at the time. You go along the way. Shit gets hard, and you give up on your dream. And then you end up in the same spot. And then your next New Year's resolution becomes the same as last year, and the same as last year, and the same as last year. And so the point of this, guys, is I'm here to call a stop to like the repeat of life thing. You're repeating the same days. You're probably not happy. You're not satisfied. Life's pretty boring for you. So getting back into this story, in 2018 with my brother, we said, hey, all right, let's make a commitment to each other, and let's exercise 30 days straight, no days off. And it was freaking hard, man. You wake up with an excuse of, like I was saying earlier, you don't feel good, you might be sore, I had a fucked up day, don't want to do it, whatever, but we're competitive, and we wanted to take this serious and see what kind of change we could have. So we did it. We're getting close to the 30-day mark, and we said, well, let's go 90 days. Let's see how further we could push. And then, along that time, the confidence level of like, hey, I can do what I set out to do. I made this promise to myself, and I'm actually showing it. We could all make these short-term promises and do it one time or two times, but can we do it consistently? And if you guys haven't done that in your life today, it's very important for yourself that you prove you can run consistent with something that's new and hard for you. And so we start doing this about 90 days, and like, well, let's go a year. Okay. Then we start getting a little bit further. And I remember this one time in the gym, we looked at each other and said, think you'll ever like not work out every day? Or is this just going to be the new us? And we both smiled and said, no days off, baby. So, you know, we're from 2018 when we started doing this, we're over 4 years into exercising without a day off. And why this has been super important to me and why I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about the physical side is it's a behavior shift. And, you know, as we grow up, we believe that, hey, we're this character, and it wasn't a character by choice. We're going to feel this way. We're going to look this way. We're going to do the same thing every day. And that's just what life's going to look like. But now you have a guy named Dylan talking to you in a podcast saying, you could change a character. You don't have to look like that. You don't have to feel like that. You don't have to do the same thing every day. You could do it differently. You just got to make the commitment to yourself and show yourself you can do it. So the reason why we picked physical exercise and the reason why I'm talking about that in today's topic is going back to the beginning. I said there's only one thing that you can control, that you really could control, unless you're disabled, right? There's one thing you could really control, and that is your exercise, the time and the work that you put into yourself to get better. And the reason why exercise is important, again, going back to the beginning, I said it's not an ego thing. The reason why exercise is so important because it's physically hard and it's mentally hard. If you can tie physical and mental together, that is some of the toughest shit that you could ever experience in life. So when you're going through physical exercise, the mental component is you might be doing it early in the morning, so you're going to be tired. The mental side of it is you're sore. The mental side of it is you don't have time for it. The mental side of it is whatever other excuse you come up with. The physical side of it, it's pain. Exercise, it does not feel the best while you're going through it. So you're going through this pain, but mentally you're telling yourself and stimulating yourself and saying, hey, man, this is serving me. This is serving me. So as I'm going through exercise, guys, I'm not just looking good. I'm building a strength inside myself to say I am stronger than what is set out in front of me today. I can accomplish this mission. And when I'm feeling the pain when I'm exercising, when I'm feeling the quit when I'm exercising, quit is quit. You got quit in you with exercise. You got quit in you with your family. You got quit in you with your work life. You got quit in you. Okay? So when I'm faced in an uncomfortable situation through physical exercise, that's when my quitting instincts come up every single day. There's a lot of times during my exercise where I'm pretty pissed off of like the feeling I'm having. But what I understand and what I want you to understand while you're going through physical exercise, if you could push past this and you could push past that feeling of uncomfort, you are now building that strength that ties up and goes with you in anything else that goes hard in life. And remember, the physical side's the mental side as well. So when you get into a hard situation with your significant other and the conversation's uncomfortable, you're pissed off, as I was talking about, you're just uncomfortable. You don't like it. Yeah, there's always an option B is you could just leave. But what does that do? If you go ahead and leave, what tells you that next relationship's any different? Right? If the relationships break up, that means you both have quit in you versus facing the uncomfort and working through it. So I brought in the relationship side to the physical exercise because learning how to work through this, learning how to not quit, learning how to push past it, you're building that muscle inside your brain and inside on who you are as a person and who you are as a character in life. And you're going to be able to bring that into your relationship. You're going to be able to bring that into your job. You're going to be able to bring that into, raising your kids and all these other different things that you want to do in life. Nobody said life's going to be easy. The truth of the matter is life's very difficult. And life becomes very easy once you build the skill sets on how to deal with the difficult situations in a comfortable setting. And the only way you get to a comfortable setting is you deal with so much uncomfortable situations in your life that's just another sense. That's another muscle. So the physical exercise is not necessarily always I need to look good, I need to be sexy. It's you showing yourself, and it's you showing anyone else that you have it in you to be in an uncomfortable situation and push past it and not quit. That is a joy and the benefits of that part of physical exercise. Now, the second half of physical exercise is the way it makes you feel. A lot of people go to an alcohol, a drug, a prescription to make them feel better. Think about it, right? Think about your life. Like I dibble and dabble in alcohol every here and there. Don't abuse it. I used to in the past. But it's, I really do it as a crutch. If you think about it, like, why do we consume alcohol? Well, we probably don't feel good, and we're trying to brush something off and feel better. We're trying to relax. We're trying to enjoy it. We're trying to be more social. Well, why can't we be more social without it? Why can't we relax without it? Is life that bad where we have to have a substance to feel better? It's a mental fuck, right? So the thing about physical exercise is when you put yourself in a gym, when you put yourself on the street running, when you put yourself on a bicycle, when you put yourself in a pool and swim, when you exercise and get to that edge of, I really want to quit right now. This is difficult. I'm struggling to breathe. My muscles are hurting. I want to quit. And you push past that. You have this, your body releases these endorphins of like, it's in like some drugs people take, give endorphins just to feel like you're on top of the moon, like vibrant energy, the most badass motherfucker can accomplish anything. That feeling, which we've all probably had of like, yes, we got that big win. I know you've had that in your life. You listening right now, like that, fuck, man, that was so good. Like, and you're amped. That feeling is the exact feeling that exercise gives you. It's a better feeling than any kind of drug out there, any kind of alcohol out there. And guess what? It's good for you. So not only do you learn these behavior things through exercise, and you'll learn a lot about yourself, and which will build other things in your life, but it releases this feeling towards you of accomplishment. And imagine getting a dose of that every day. That feeling of like, fuck yeah, I got this. Imagine every morning you wake up, you work out, 7 a.m. happens, you're like, fuck yeah, man. I won, baby. Let's go. And you have that energy. Imagine that feeling every day. That's the feeling that you get after you beat that battle of exercise, after you beat that quit. And it feels fucking good. And then once you have that win there and you learn that no quit thing, let's push past it, let's go through the pain. Then in your relationship, it gets a little bit rocky. You guys aren't really getting along well. And you're like, fuck this, man. I'm going to be the leader. I'm going to lead through this thing. I'm going to put this relationship together. We got it. We're not quitting on each other. We're partners. Remember this. Then you guys come together as a relationship. Fuck yeah, man. We got it. So you got this feeling of like accomplishments versus like when you quit something. When you quit something, guys, how does that make you feel? You reflect, you tell your friends, yeah, it wasn't for me. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I had to get home. I had to leave. My kids were calling. You're making up these excuses, but you feel like shit on the inside on the real reason you quit. You really quit because you didn't have it in you. And the feeling of not having it in you sucks. And I'm here to tell you guys have it in you. It's no special power. It's no magical pill. You guys have it in you. And when you're feeling that pain means you're almost there. When you're feeling that pain, that means that's the medicine right there. You get past that pain, you got the fucking win, man. You're right there. It's right around the corner. Keep pushing past the pain. Keep pushing. And next thing you know, your life is changing in every single way. So physical exercise and how you feel and how you do life, the confidence it gives you, it's changing, man. And I'm speaking from experience. I've been on this, they've talked about it in so many podcasts now because it's such a big part of my life, and a lot of people listen to this because they consider me successful in different ways. And I'm here telling you guys, not just on this podcast, but other ones, a big contributor of that was exercise and pushing myself in the gym and slaying that monster every single day. And you guys have it in you, and I'd like to see all of you quit the bullshit, quit the excuses, and just go do it and see what I'm talking about it. I don't get anything by selling you on going and working out and beating the shit out of yourself in the gym. The only thing I get out of it is I told you so. And I love to say that because I'd love to see you guys feel good, and I'd love to see your life change. You know, back before 2018, I used to quit on all my relationships. I used to try to find the easy road and everything in life. I would always try to find like a plan B, and I'd always find it'd always be empty at the end. It was just this like hamster wheel. And when I accepted exercise and dealing with the pain and letting it teach me and humble me, and everything in my life changed. I could tell you what, I'm successful in many different ways. You guys will think from the financial standpoint, but I have an extremely successful marriage that I know a lot of people look up to. Me and my wife have an amazing time together, amazing conversations. She's my partner in life, man. And from a father, I'd love if there's a competition to be the best dad. I'd guarantee I want to be right up on that fucking podium every time. So, having kids is hard. It's not easy. And the fitness side and the behaviors I learned from going through that has helped that. And then my physique too. Like we're in the, I don't know, big business game, medium business. I don't know what you want to call it, but we operate in the 9 figures, guys. And when I tell people our vision and I tell people what we're going to do and what we have to do, I look at people, they size me up, they look at me, and they compliment a lot of time my physique, my structure, and they know I'm a no bullshit motherfucker because they understand the type of work it takes, because everybody's tried physical exercise. Everybody understands the work it takes to have a nice looking physique. It is not easy. It takes a lot of discipline. So when you hear a guy that has a physique that, hey, that guy with physique says he's going to go do that one thing, probably a good chance that he's going to go do that one thing. You better listen up. Somebody who doesn't have physique is going to go say they're going to go do that one thing. Can you believe him? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. So physical exercise is a big part of it. Now, along this journey, I got it, I got the gym. I was checking the box, doing those things, and my physique necessarily didn't change. And I've had I'd always have these like big lunches as a big like sushi dude. Still love sushi, but tons of like rice. And I'd hit lunchtime, and my performance would drop. I'd end up getting tired. I need to pick me up through a caffeine, different things like that. And I'm like, well, okay, I got my exercise done, but I always see this stuff on social media and hear people talking about, well, your abs are cut up in the kitchen. It's all done in the kitchen. It's all about diet. It's all about diet. I'm like, fuck, man, not another thing. Physical exercise is hard enough. Now I need to change what I put in my mouth. I love the taste of food. Makes me happy, right? Well, here's the thing is like earlier in the podcast when I was opening up, I was talking about food. It's being your fuel in your gas tank. The food I was putting in my gas tank, it was just premium grade, 87, not premium grade, whatever you call it. I think it's called like regular gas, but 87 octane, the most basic shit you could buy. So I was running this high performance program. I was building a race engine within inside myself, put in shit fuel in it. So I was not the output and what that engine produced, my physique, and how I felt didn't match up. So I said, well, I need to put higher octane in my system. I need some of that race fuel. I need some of that good shit. So my physique and how I feel really good. I can't have these down moments. I need to be more productive. I need to be just on the gas. I'm building 5 companies, and I need to be moving freaking quick. I don't have minutes. I got seconds. And so then I started studying the foods that would make me feel good and the foods that would make me feel bad. And I started doing a bunch of different changes in my diet. My wife got into massive amounts of research on food and different foods that you should and should not eat. And I started making this change within my diet, and I did the exact same thing, guys. Put a commitment out there for 75 days. And what this commitment looked like, and it was during a program I ran called 75 Hard, pretty badass program built by Andy Frisella, but this is when the diet piece came into it. What my diet looked like was high protein, and proteins were done through like meats and fish and all that stuff. I wasn't taking any supplement protein. I cut out basically all carbs. So at that point, I cut out, it was gluten. I was still learning my whole diet thing. And then I cut out dairy, and we just had foods that served me. I was running about 190 pounds on day one, cut down to 162 pounds or so on day 75. My physique changed big time. Like, people didn't notice me in 75 days. And it was through another thing of making that commitment and going through it and going through the pain of change and not accepting any excuse or any reason on why not. Then after the 75 days, nothing, all the other shit I ate didn't even seem appetizing. Because I told myself, like in the beginning, I'm like, man, I love food so much. I'm doing this for 75 days. On fucking day 76, I'm going all out. Like, I'm doing whatever. Well, along the way, your behavior changes, your character changes, like your taste buds and all that, where the diet food that I was eating actually tasted pretty damn good, and I didn't really care to go back to all the old stuff. And what I noticed is how I felt along the way. I'm starting to get in shape. My confidence is going up. My energy levels have went up, and I'm just like moving and grooving. I didn't have these like peaks and valleys and all that kind of stuff. And my life changed. And so ever since then, I finished that program in like 2000, I think it was like the beginning of 2019. I continued to play and tweak with my diet, and I found out what's worked for me. And I've been in for about 4 years now in just tip-top shape. I don't have to prep for a beach day. I don't have to prep to be in my bathing suit. I'm able to peel out and look good, feel good, perform good, all those different things in my life. And the reason I brought up the health side of it and what you put in your body is the physical and health, they do have to go together. You can't really get one done without the other. So start on one side of it, master it, build the characteristics there, don't quit, and then add in the other. And the food side of it and the physical side of it is not just, again, going to make you look good. It's not going to teach you other skill sets in your life and behaviors in your life, but it's going to make you perform at a whole different level. I know we all look up to these people and like, how's that guy on the gas all the time? How's that person up so early? They don't have to sleep a whole ton. They figured out the right ratio inside their diet. And to me, for my diet, what I do today on the majority of the week, 5-6 days a week, no alcohol content, always drink over a gallon of water, high protein intake. So I'm eating like an egg, a chicken, a fish, a meat, something like that. Consuming no grains at all. So I'm not eating pastas and rice and bread and any of that kind of stuff. Nothing fried, hardly any sugars, and I don't really screw around with dairy. Not from just a fat context side, but just my stomach doesn't like it. I don't agree with it. I don't know if I'm lactose intolerant or whatnot. And I eat like smaller meals, but multiple times a day. I'm running 6 meals a day most of the time. And it's worked for me, and it's like clockwork now. In the beginning when you're going through this stuff, you're going to be facing like this, like, fuck, man, this sucks. I don't want to eat this. This is boring. I don't want to do this. It sucks. But when you do the suck for long enough, it becomes second nature. And the one thing I'm going to tell you is like, it feels like is like, think about the suck when you're a kid of like, I got to wake up and go to school, and it sucks so bad. Like when I don't know if you remember like starting high school and setting your alarm of like, dude, this is brutal. But now, like in your everyday life, if you have kids or if you go to work, you wake up early and it's just normal shit, right? Or like I remember when I was a kid and like brushing my teeth, I fucking hated doing that for some reason. I don't think about it. I just go and brush my teeth, right? Or taking a shower, or just like all the stuff just becomes normal. The only reason it's hard is it's not bad for you. It's not painful for you. It's just hard for you because it's something different. But this is something different that you should look at. This is something different that you should change, because it's literally that life-changing if you take your physical exercise serious and you take your mental exercise serious. The reason why it's life-changing, because it's that one thing you can control. It's your living resume that everybody sees. It's your living resume that you see. And it's a self-promise you could tell yourself, and a self-promise you could keep to yourself, because you have complete control of that. You keep your self-promises true. Think about it. I think it's podcast number 2, 3, or 4, or 5. You keep your self-promises true to yourself. That's where your confidence builds. If you're lacking confidence in yourself today, if you're insecure today, it's because you said you were going to go do something and you didn't follow through with it. So make diet one, make exercise one, follow through with it. The steps I want you to take away from this podcast is not all the things that we just learned. That's one of them. But I want you to leave this podcast. I want you to go do research on a diet that works, that there's stats and facts behind it, that people said it's hard. Real life fucking people, not advertisements. Real life people that do this shit. Find a diet that somebody has been able to make that transformation. Follow that diet to the freaking T. Don't make excuses. Oh, well, it's the weekend. I don't have to do this. I get to do that. I get to say Sunday, I'm doing what the fuck I want to do. I've been doing this for 4 years now. I know how to stay in tip-top shape 24/7. I know my boundaries, right? I know when I could go a little up or a little low. I get to play with that, but this is something new to you, so you don't get that option. Find that diet and stick to it. Stay committed to it. Stay committed to it. I know if I say go do it for the rest of your life, you're probably not going to sign up for it. So stay committed to it for 30 days and have a renegotiation at 20 and sign those self-contracts with yourself. And then get into a fitness program, and a fitness program that you fucking hate to go do every single day because it's that hard. And stay committed to it and sign that contract with yourself. Your life will change. It's changed mine. It's changed my brother's. I've watched it change many of my friends. That's where that's where your next chapter starts, is with physical exercise and the food you put in your body, because that's what you can control. Remember that. Again, my goal here is to make you better. My goal here is to make you happy. My goal is to give you stuff that you could go and take action on. My goal is to give you stuff that won't just help you, but it's going to help everyone around you. It's going to help your bloodline. It's going to help your friends. And with these 2 simple things, it will change the rest of the shit in your life. You're looking at your business right now and saying it ain't doing well. It's not because of your product. It's not because of your industry. It's because of you. Build yourself. Make yourself the best fucking person it could possibly be. Be the best version of yourself, and everything around you will change. But it must start with you, and you can't shortcut that. You're going to have to go through the struggle. You're gonna have to go through the pain. You're going to have to face it, and you're gonna have to overcome it. And once you do that, the rest is history. See you guys at the top. Do good.